Hey YouTubers, we're gonna take this LED driver and this LED panel, and we're gonna mount it to our lift gate. I'm gonna put the driver up in this driver's side cubby right in here. I'm gonna put it up there like this and find out where I'm gonna drill my holes. I already tested the fit and it's gonna go angled like this from here to here and sit in there. And then I'm gonna route my AC power to it, come around along the wiring, and I'm gonna go through the washer hole right here into the cab, and then I'm gonna route it. I'm gonna figure that out later on. I'm gonna route it to a switch and then run a wire from my inverter to that switch so I can turn it on and off. Here's the ballast, or what I should say, the LED driver. Like I said, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna mount it up here, drill my holes, and then figure out where everything goes from there. So here we go. Probably won't show you most of the stuff on video, but I'll show you the steps. Before you get too far along, go ahead and make sure that your inverter, here it is, turns it on. Because if it doesn't, then there's no point in doing it. So there she works. So we drilled the holes, two here, two down here. This part indents a little bit, but I'm thinking once we stick it up in there, the little bit that rises with the hardware I got these little stainless 1.5 inch long 10mm head fine thread screws. I think once we put them in there, there'll be plenty of play to suck it down to it. And we're just going to install it and I'll come back to you. So we got the ballast in there. It's a little tight getting these on this side. Actually, it's harder on this side. You got this access, you can get your finger up in there a little bit easier to hold. I definitely use locking washers so that you can tighten down and eventually it'll catch and just tighten the rest of the way with just a ratchet on the outside. But it's very low pro and it looks like it's going to hold really good. Now we got our wiring, which we're going to pull out here. What I'm planning to do with mine is go ahead and drill a couple holes and use them to zip tie right here on the edge so it doesn't waller a lot back and forth. And I'm probably going to tape where it contacts the metal just for some extra strength. And then the next thing is routing electricity from this around to this through into the inside of the cab. So far we've routed, this is gonna be like our junction area for all of our stuff, including the LED once we get it mounted to the lift gate. And we just ran down alongside the wiring harness, went through this little eyelet, made sure and taped all the way across there just so nothing gets loose. Then we stuck our slack, put a little service loop that wraps in, and now we're getting through the boot. And then we're gonna go down this and to our outlet point. We got the wire routed through the boot right here, through the washer hole, through the boot, and down here, and zip tied all the way up, avoiding the screw holes along the way so it holds really good. Now we routed it down to here. We're gonna go behind this panel and we're gonna mount an outlet right there, this one to be exact. We're gonna mount him like this, and then we got a plate that fits right over it, and that's gonna be my nice little flip zone. We're gonna get the toolbox out of the way, that way we can drill a little bit easier and saw with my Leatherman. And that's where we're at. One cut. Okay, so we got the one wire came under here and we went ahead and mocked it up and ran it over the seat and then down to the front where I got my inverter under the driver's seat. We did all that, got this wired up. I used a ring terminal for the grounds and put them under the one ground. Neutrals are tied down, and then I got the ground that powers it. It's on a black one, and it powers both the outlet and the switch on this one. And then the like gray or bronze is the one that you want to go up to your light source or your inverter here, or not inverter, your LED driver, and that's coming off the switch. And then I'm just going to tie it into an outlet plug, or not a plug but a male connector, which I had right here. I'm going to connect him right down here and plug him into my inverter next to my gun. There we go. So to catch you up to speed, we got our thing connected into our inverter, and we already tested it, just so you know, but we got it plugged in. Push that up under my front seat. It runs under the bench over to the other side. We got most of the trim back in, but it runs ultimately down the fender well up to this, our light switch, and then we got a socket as well for an extension of basically the inverter. Then that runs back up here, through here. We got to put this trim piece still on, and then it runs there, of course, back up to here. We patched this all up. I ran an extra. I got a red spare. I got the black and the white, so hot and neutral, and then I got it grounded. And then these are our outputs to our LED panel, and they're going to attach to these wires, which we're having a hard time getting through right now. But the red and blue wire are going to come out here, and our panel is going to mount to the other side. We'll show you that once we get it mounted and the trim is back in place. Okay, so we wrapped up the trim, and this is the final result. I got the inverter on, so we're going to come back here. Here's our light switch. Trim is all in place. Doors in place. I think I'm going to have to take a screw and run it through. Right here you got a bunch of dead space in the sheet metal, so I'm probably going to take a fat washer. You see it just pop back down again. It's just not clicking in anymore, which honestly this part of the door hasn't been in for a long time. But I'm going to probably put a washer there with a screw and a washer here with a screw just to help it, and probably one up here on this side. That handle holds it in place really good, but aesthetically I might do another one here just to make it look all Gucci. But here's the panel. Here we go. Holy crap. It makes daylight, makes it look brighter in here. So there's a little bit of a buzz here. I'll show you. You can maybe just maybe hear that, but that's about the worst of it. There's just a little hum from that driver up there, but really I think it'll be just fine. So these I might go ahead and like silicone over that just to protect them, but I just drilled 2 small holes to fit them through, and then I went through the insulation in there with a little knife cut and got it to the top side, and then I shoved it in that. If you remember, there's a square hole right here. I just shoved them in where they weren't wedged in between. Like I said, I seriously think this is just because my little grommet or click things are broke and wore out, so I'm probably just going to take a screw and make it more permanent. But that's it, and it works pretty good. I like it. And now I got an outlet back here, and it's up to code because it's upside down. So, and plus the little like bevel here protects the light switch from ever getting hit. So hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you like this little overlanding like light. Eventually that's what I want to do with it. I want to have like a table back here that me and my wife can cook on with like a little Stanley grill, and that just makes it super bright back here. You can find most of these pieces from like an electrical hardware store of sorts. You can get the driver and a compatible LED fixture from just about any electrical, especially industrial outfitters. They should be able to order you or make you something that'll work together with a driver and a panel like this. And that concludes my video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and hope you look forward to seeing what more I do with this thing overlanding wise. This is my cabin, by the way, my family's cabin. We've built it back in '99 and slowly got it to this point over the last 22 years, and it's a great place to come. We're actually out here for deer season right now, and I just like to always do something in the middle of the day just to enjoy like building or crafting something. So that's what I was doing here. You guys have a good rest of your day and take care. Peace out, YouTubers. Your friend St. Chris. God bless.